morning, Waltech here. With the revival of the Fallout franchise thanks to the Amazon show and the number of players being at an all-time high, I wanted to invite you to grab a Nuka-Cola, sit tight in your vaults or your mom's basement, and enjoy this video going to the most polar opposite Fallout games, New Vegas and Fallout 4.
When it comes to Fallout, nobody hates on the games as much as the fans themselves. Well, that's what they say. Fallout New Vegas fans always being at the Fallout 4 fans' throat for having the superior game.
Thank you, Mr. House, but I'll take it from here.
Candy ass bitch boy.
Fallout is a beloved game franchise thanks to its beautifully meshed up retro-futuristic dark apocalyptic aesthetic, great music choice, and amazing, in big quotation marks, storytelling with many factions and a lot of dark humor.
Hey, I can almost see right down the barrel.
But Fallout as a franchise has been through many drastic shifts throughout its creation, so depending on when you join the franchise you could have a very different experience. We have Fallout 1 and 2 fans that are pretty much fossils by now, since when the game came out the computers actually look like Fallout terminals. Then we have Fallout 3 fans.
Bruh.
Yeah. And then we have Fallout 4 fans trying to defend Fallout 4, saying, I mean the story is, it's good. It's alright. It's just alright. Then we have Fallout New Vegas fans.
Fallout New Vegas reigns supreme with its profound and astonishing depth. A testament to gaming excellency, worthy of royal acclaim.
Why the fuck I look like John Bloodborne?
The blood, the moon, you must haunt beasts.
Me, personally, my first Fallout was Fallout 4. Ooh, and I loved it. You know, Fallout 4 can be summarized in one sentence. While this game is shit, I will spend 100 hours in this game. But little did this 15-year-old pubescent me knew what an actual good real RPG story feels like, when your choices really matter. So recently I've played Fallout New Vegas, which has opened my fucking third eye. And I could see stuff now, so I want to compare these two games to see how these games exceed in their own way and why always Fallout New Vegas fans bash Fallout 4's story. But before we get into Todd Howard's succulent post-apocalyptic juice, I wanted to warn you that this video contains many spoilers for Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. So if you don't want to get spoiled, I suggest you to go to the comfort of YouTube Shorts. I assume there's a lot of epic content there, am I right?
Use my cock.
Wow, look at that. That's great, man. Also, I want to note that for this review, I've played the vanilla version of Fallout 4 in New Vegas, since with mods you could literally turn Fallout 4 into Call of Duty, and I don't want people to fix these games for these massive companies. I want to experience these games how the Bethesda and Obsidian intended these games to be experienced, not with this massive anime ray gun, big bang, flashbang, 4K textures, 120 FPS mods. No, none of that shit. Fallout's timeline began after World War II, with the events before it being pretty much same as the real world. Until the big Chungus bombs changed Japan from this to this. After World War II coming to an end, Fallout 4 starts to diverge from reality, with the USA starting a massive focus of producing nuclear power, giving birth to crazy creations such as fusion battery, fusion powered nuclear cars, Pip-Boy, robots, Handyman, Apple Watch, Nintendo DS, and all these crazy nuclear powered things, and bombs, many bombs, like a lot of bombs. Holy shit, that's a lot of bombs. And for some reason after that, the aesthetic of universe stuck with 1950s style. Hence the retro-futuristic style of the game. In simple terms, this is how the 1950s people envisioned the future to look like. So that's what basically retro-futuristic means. Fallout's universe started to become very similar to Cyberpunk's universe, since these massive companies became so powerful, such as Waltech, being dedicated to make nuclear bunkers, Robco being behind every single crazy ass robot that you see in the Fallout universe. And the Pip-Boy, of course, the Pip-Boy. And holy shit, there is so much more. Like, go search Fallout factions and companies. Holy shit, like, there's so much, dude. There's so much fictional companies. Moving forward to 2077, and holy fuck, if I had a nickel for every time that a game was set in 2077, well, I would have 2 nickels. Because, you know, the other funny game that was set in 2077.
Get the fuck up, samurai. We got a game to overpromise. 16 times the detail. 14 times the jank, baby. We all got it.
In 2077, since there's a lack of resources and the war between China and USA is the peak of escalation, well, they decided to turn the world into dust. Yeah, like the final level of Dark Souls 3. Well, thank God Vault-Tec exists, right? Well, Vault-Tec wasn't this benevolent company dedicated to the future of mankind as we thought. They created these vaults to conduct all these social inhuman experiments on the people inside. And every vault is vastly different from another, ranging from vaults such as Vault 69. I need to get a life. Well, the vault itself is actually funny itself, where there's only one man in the vault with 999 women. Basically a Redditor's Discord kitten group. Or Vault 11, where its inhabitants were instructed to select one of their own as a human sacrifice each year. If they refused, they were told that the vault would shut off its life support system and the entire population would die. So pretty much a Mr. Beast video. I'm pretty sure he did a video like that. It sounds like something Mr. Beast would do. So guys, I caused the nuclear winter and I trapped 100 people in a vault. And every year they have to sacrifice one of their own until one person remains. And the winner wins the grand prize of 5 Mr. Beast chocolates. Bruh. I won't go too much in detail about these vaults because there are so many vaults with so much great lore, and there's also like many great videos going into detail about each and every one of these vaults, but I will touch upon vaults a little bit when I go further in the video. Now with the Fallout show being canon and everything, we know that these companies were much more evil than we thought, and they were one of the main reasons the Great War didn't end in peace. Since to sell the products, there needed to be tension between USA and China, so the threat of nuclear war would always loom around the corner, so there would be a reason for these people to buy the vaults in the first place. And some goofy shit that they want to drop the bombs themselves and blah blah blah. Anywho, that leads us to the games. The year is 1997. We got Home Alone 3, we got Gangnam Style, Interplay, and Black Isle decided to make Fallout 1. Basically, these are the people who came up with everything about Fallout, the visuals, the game, the factions, the story, only for Bethesda to come suck the whole thing up and make Oblivion with guns. Original Fallout 1 was critically acclaimed for being one of the greatest RPGs for its time. And one of my favorite things from that game is playing a low intelligence playthrough.
Have you found the chip? Oh, that's great. Can I have the chip, please? No, not that. I want the computer chip. No, the chip. Just give me the chip!
But you see, the game is really outdated. The game's camera is a trimetric camera being locked at an angle, and the game is a point-and-click adventure. But the game's learning curve is a bit steep, and the game doesn't tell you jack shit. It's like the first hours of Souls games, but stretched to the whole game. But fret no more, there is the manual to help you out, right? Okay. There's too much. There's too much. 1998, we have Fallout 2. It's pretty much Fallout 1, but better. Then we have Fallout's Forbidden Games. Shh, you stinky ass, we don't talk about these games. They don't exist, man. Shh, they're not real. We made an oopsie. These games, they don't exist, man. And after this, Black Isle gets nuked. And then Interplay closes. Yay! The age for the top-down PC RPG game was looking bad. The Fallout IP was in a limbo.
16 times.
Oh god. What is that? I can see light. I can see hope. Oh, who's that man in the distance? Oh God! Oh, it's Lord Howard! Shortly after, in 2008, Bethesda releases Fallout 3. And it's a massive success. Turns out if you give guns to a bunch of wizards from Oblivion and sprinkle a bit of succulent post-apocalyptic 1950s retro futuristic juice on top of it, it's a good recipe. It's good. Turns out really good. And then we have Todd Howard with his sexy ass leather jacket coming on stage every time like an abusive ex that you keep trusting every time. Since he's just so... how they put it? He's just so charismatic. What is that? Oh no. Oh no, Todd Howard is trying to sell me Fallout 76. No.
Oh, look at his visuals. Wow, such a delight. You can almost feel the ransom tonight. Dynamic choices, sentiments too. You've never seen a game so true. Ooh, pre-orders are calling, and I've got just a plan. With promises of wasteland, and the tales grander than the past. And those bogs? They're not flaws, they're futures. Think of them as part of the charm. Sit down on my table, put your wallet on the line, and if you're ready for the adventure, then your soul will be mine. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, 16 times the data, baby. So many bugs. Woo. Yeah, just put in the game.
What Bethesda is really good at is to make these massive, expansive, atmospheric locations filled with so much love and care and detail that you could get lost into. Even just walking around and enjoy these vistas. With the radio playing the bangers is an absolutely amazing experience. But most of the time Bethesda fails to fill these massive maps with anything meaningful. Even in 2024. Starfield. Yeah, it's even worse. Even Fallout 76, as empty as that game is sometimes, it can be sometimes visually so beautiful. I mean, you could slap the country road music on top of that shit, slow walk, and you got yourself an E3 trailer.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains,
16 times the detail.
Fallout 3 also suffered from the same thing that Starfield is suffering, having so many locations, but failing to fill these locations with anything meaningful. I mean, don't get me wrong, as great as Fallout 3 is, and arguably one of the main reasons Fallout is as big as it is today, it had so many problems even for its time. Like a long ass loading screens on PS3, clunky gunplay that barely functions, and there is no aim down sight button, making this scene from the show actually lore accurate. Even AAA games that came 1 year before this game, like COD 4, it controlled like butter, letting people to hit them dank MLG absolute fire Dorito Mountain Dew flips. Mom, get the camera, Mom! Or dumbing down the RPG elements and giving you less choice and not letting you kill an essential NPC. And you know, the most that Bethesda is renowned for is the jank.
Let's go.
Man, I don't know.
Why are you?
Man,
Why the fuck are you floating, dude? How did you break the game already, dude? What the hell? What the fuck is that?
But after Fallout 3, out of the ashes climbs out a new studio, and it's Obsidian, made from the same people who made the original Fallout games. So Bethesda decides to borrow them the Fallout IP and give them this jank-ass Game Bro engine that was used for Fallout 3. And these motherfuckers, they cooked. They cooked, alright. So guys, now I'm gonna talk about Fallout 76. Just kidding! Fallout Las Vegas!
There'll be no wedding bells for today. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. Jingle, jangle.
If I could explain Fallout New Vegas in 3 words, it would be player choice matters. You want to kill everybody from the beginning of the game? Well, you can. Gambling, gambling, more gambling. And you know what they say? You're always one step away from winning in gambling. Want to sell drugs to the kids? Well, you can. Why not? Want to do a mission for a brothel that hires you to find a sex robot that is called Fisto, and when you find that robot, you can take it for a test drive? Well, you can.
Pulse active.
Want to do a mission for a woman and instead of caps and money, you want to ask sex in return? Well, you... it's bad, yeah. But you still can. I mean, the option is there. If you want to be a horrible person, that's on you, not on them.
Yes,
it's an RPG. It's on you.
And I know how to give it to you right now.
There's a big reason people gush about Fallout New Vegas, even though it's on a really outdated engine. Obsidian was thrown the engine while Bethesda left to create Skyrim. So Bethesda had zero influence on the creation of this game, and Obsidian had only 18 months to create this banger of a game. Bro, even from the intro, this game is so fucking rad. Fallout 1 intro. Oh no, we need to find a water chip. Fallout 2 intro. Oh no, I need to find something to save my village. Oh, yay! Fallout 3. Goo goo gaga, I need to find my Liam Neeson dad. Liam Neeson. Fallout 4 intro. Yay! Where's my 75-year-old son? What the fuck is going on? Then we got Fallout 76. I'm gonna leave the world and rebuild the wasteland. Yay! And I'm gonna shout racial slurs at other people. Whee!
Because I could actually charge this fucking right here.
Then we have Fallout New Vegas, that you're a post-apocalyptic mailman that is shot.
Hope this interaction doesn't lead to any kind of fallout between us. Fallout New Vegas.
BAM! Shot in the fucking head, but most guys would call it quit. But not this guy. No, he's too angry to die.
Before you hear from anybody else, nigga, I got jumped in LA by some pussy ass niggas and they jumped me, nigga.
Next thing you know, you waking up in a Doc Mitchell's crib that feels like he's about to molest you anytime. Then it's character creation time, baby. Because nothing says survival like picking a hairstyle after a near-death experience. Now you're in the Mojave Desert, pissed off looking at the person who shot you because one person is too angry to let go and die. And now, that's what I call a fucking cool intro. It's just fire. I can't. It's edgy, it's cool, but in a good way. So strap in, sit tight, and enjoy the ride. In Fallout New Vegas, getting shot in the face is only the start of you. From the beginning of the game, it is shown that whatever you choose matters. Unlike that, the other game, Fallout 4. The game usually doesn't treat you like a baby to force you to play the way they want you to play. Look, you have to do the mission the way I want you. So usually you have so many RPG-ass dialogue options giving you so much choice. But in Fallout 4, most of your shiny dialogue options leads to question, but yes. No, but actually yes.
Come back some other time.
Come on. It's just a little paperwork.
I said no.
And I'm saying yes.
Yes, but yes, and sarcastic, that will lead you to yes. Also in Fallout 4, characters now have backstories. So the male character, people call him Nate, is an ex-military, and according to... I don't know how to... Pagliarolo? I'm gonna butcher his name. Him, one of the devs, Nate is the guy in the intro of Fallout 1 that watches another soldier commit war crime and starts to laugh. So he's a war criminal and a psychopath. And the woman character, she's a lawyer. Meanwhile, the courier in Fallout New Vegas, he's mostly a blank character. You really don't know anything about his backstory. So it makes it more of an RPG, hence, role-playing game. I want to make my own story type of thing, I know this doesn't mean anything and it doesn't have any effect in the story, and I'm just a crazy person in my room nitpicking about this. But this is just the beginning of dumbed down RPG elements in Fallout 4. In New Vegas, you're given the choice to select your base attributes, but this game is much different than Fallout 4. Remember the thing that I told you about? Player choice matters? Since when you select your base attributes, you cannot change or upgrade them like Fallout 4. So you have to be really careful what type of character build you want to go with. If you want to be an absolute fucking psychopath, kill everyone, punch people, carry more weapon, you go and put points into strength. If you want to specialize in awareness, your compass, your accuracy, you go with perception. And there is intelligence that if you don't decide to pour any points in it, you could roleplay as an average brain rot skippity toilet enjoyer, and it's the funniest shit ever.
This is a restricted area. State your business. I can't tell whether you're joking or radiation melted part of your brain.
It's unusual to see a new face here. Are you a soldier or a scientist? I see. Then you must have some special business here for them to have let you through.
The caps. I've also got several implants available to enhance your physical attributes. No. Implants, not plants.
By the way, this cool thing, they removed it in Fallout 4. Cool stuff in Fallout 4? No, we get rid of that shit. While we're on the topic of low intellect, there's this cool interaction in New Vegas where you meet with this LA hobo type of character, but if you have a normal intellect level, you cannot understand it. He just starts to ramble and say a bunch of bullshit. But if you have low intellect, bro decides to form the most magnificently formed sentences, and it's so funny. It's like such a cool detail.
Friend, not a few minutes ago I chanced upon a pair of destitute orphans grappling over just such an item. If you cover the area methodically, I'm quite certain you'll happen upon them with only the most insubstantial of delays.
I love Obsidian, man. I just love Obsidian. Damn, I love Obsidian. If you want to be a dum-dum, you put points in charisma, you dumbass. No. In New Vegas, you never pour points into charisma. Never. Unlike Fallout 4 that every speech is connected to charisma, in New Vegas it's divided to many other sub-skills. Since in New Vegas, on top of the base attributes, you got skills. These are the skills that you can upgrade throughout the game that changes your playthrough. Depending on what skills you invest to, you're giving so many options, such as if you invest into science skill, you can do some Breaking Bad shit and make some steam pack in the beginning of the game. Or there's this like broken gun that if you invest into repair, you could fix this broken gun at the beginning of the game, so it would give you a good starter weapon. Then we have speech that was basically charisma in Fallout 4, but this time around, depending on how many points you have in speech, you're guaranteed to persuade people to do stuff for you. And on top of that, we have barter, dedicated to selling, getting more discount, and getting more higher payouts in the mission. But in Fallout 4, you could dump all your points in charisma, and the higher your charisma is, the higher of the chance you could persuade them, but it's still not 100% guaranteed. You could still fail the speed check. In Fallout 4, persuading with charisma works with every type of character. So you could do weird shit like this. But in Fallout New Vegas, depending on what skills you invested to, you could persuade different type of people. Like for example, if you have higher medicine, you could persuade this doctor to do a surgery for him because you can persuade him, right? Of course I lied and I killed his goddamn patient.
Were you exaggerating your knowledge of medicine?
But if you go with a high medicine to, for example, an engineer, you cannot persuade him because you don't have a high skill of repair. This makes much more sense for an RPG game because depending on your skills, it changes how you interact with the world. I mean, if you want to be a pussy and don't kill anyone and do a pacifist run, you could dump your point into sneak in speech. So basically you can sneak or speak your way out of every situation in this game. It is possible. Hard as shit, but still possible. But wait, we are not done yet. On top of skills, we have perks that have been in every single Fallout game before. These perks can alter your playstyle significantly, since when you level up every time, you're given a certain amount of skill points and a perk to choose from, corresponding to the skills that you chose and your attributes from before. And one of the coolest perks in the game is called Terrifying Presence, that basically your sheer aura, Sigma Wolf energy causes people to instantly shed themselves and run in fear. It's so fucking cool.
Will you go before my Decanus for judgment or be killed where you stand?
Good thing you're wearing a skirt. Makes pissing yourself go easier.
Brothers, help.
Soon after leaving the doc's office, you're treated to this classic Fallout intro when you leave the vault and the sun hits your eyes and you're like,
you have been forgiven.
But this time around, is less grandeur. Since when you open the door, you see this red dead ass, dry ass, grandma's coochie looking orange town. And it's beautiful. This might be a big turnoff for some people since Obsidian Games opted for a more classic Fallout feel. Since you know the nukes almost completely wiped the world clean and society build a new type of look. If you want to compare Bethesda games and New Vegas aesthetics, it would be like Breaking Bad, where Bethesda games are set in Albuquerque, while New Vegas is set in Mexico with that, you know, yellow ass piss filter that is always in Mexico. I mean, the game genuinely looks sad. Intentionally sad. I mean, nothing beats the feeling of walking down the Mojave Desert and listening to jingle, jangle, jingle. It's the best feeling. Or going to the strip for the first time, then seeing this town that is barely touched by the nukes and there's this sprinkle of civilization is truly cool. But most of the time the locations look pretty sad and empty in New Vegas. What makes New Vegas great is not the locations really, but the writing and the NPCs that are in these locations. I would give credit when credit is due. Bethesda was always known for their great art design, atmosphere and level design. For example, the Capitol Wasteland looks amazing. Just walking around and taking the vistas in, it's great. And they took it to a whole nother level in Fallout 4. They doubled down on this retro-futuristic 50s style. And the locations are genuinely amazing in Fallout 4. Like going to this glowing sea area where the nukes hit in Fallout 4 is genuinely made me feel uneasy and made my balls to tickle. It's great. Oh, fuck! Ah! The art design was so good and vibrant in Fallout 4 that the Fallout show literally stole the whole art design teeth to teeth from Fallout 4. And it looks sexy. We can't deny it, it's amazing. But New Vegas went for more of a realistic look, if that makes sense. I mean, fuck continuity, am I right? Look how shiny this red car is after 200 years. Even the vaults, after 200 years, they look shiny as hell. Look at this, man. Wow, looks cleaner than my room, to be honest. First off, let's talk story. Fallout New Vegas' vaults aren't just these underground bunkers. They are these psychological thrill rides. Remember Vault 11 that I briefly talked about it in the beginning of the video, that they have to sacrifice a new person, blah, blah, blah. And when you go to this vault by yourself, you see what these candidates had to go through when they were chosen to be sacrificed, and it's truly bone-chilling. It's a great experience.
Greetings, martyr, and welcome. If you're here now, it means you've been offered up as a sacrifice so that your vault can continue to thrive.
All right, I know you can hear me, so listen up. There's 5 of us left. 5 out of I don't know how many. So, it's over. We've talked and it's over. We're not gonna send anybody to die anymore.
Vault 34? The original home of the faction boomers? Let's say the open door policy on guns led to more of a boom than anybody anticipated. Since the overseer decided to lock the guns for the people, and this caused a massive riot where basically people started to like fight each other with guns, and this caused one of the reactors to explode. Hence this place being this beautifully ghoulish Black Ops ass zombies place that I went to early game, and I died so many times because I didn't know it was a late game area. I'm barely touching the surface about these vaults because there's so much story in every vault. Like, there's so many terminals to just see what happened in these vaults. Each vault in New Vegas is like a self-contained Stephen King novel, brimming with stories and moral dilemmas. Now, let's slide to Fallout 4. What do we get? Fallout 75, where they train kids to become super soldiers. Cool in theory, but it's like, we train kids, bad stuff happens, the vault is in ruins now. We got Vault 81, which is actually functioning. Wow. But guess what? No, there's an actual this vault tech experiment happening underneath. Wow. It's like Fallout 4 said, hey kids, do you want a sprinkle of a good vault with a good story? Hey, but don't choke on it. It's like they were trying to copy Fallout New Vegas' homework, but they didn't really understand the question. Then we have Vault 22 from New Vegas. You walk into Vault 22 and it's overgrown with deadly plants. You're not just seeing the aftermath of what happened here. You're stepping into a living and breathing horror movie set. Every corner, every room whispers of a story of what happened into this vault. And you know, It's obsidian, so your choices even matter in the vaults, unlike Fallout 4 that your choices feel like choosing between different flavors of cardboard. When you get to Vault 22, you're not just there to gawk at the foliage. You're on a mission for NCR or either Followers of Apocalypse. You're sent out to find out what happened in this vault, or depending who you're working with, secure a valuable data that is in this vault. As you dig deeper and deeper into this vault, you find Dr. Cayley in this cave, a scientist who's desperately trying to contain this outbreak that happened in this vault. But here's where the magic happens. Your choices. Because remember, this is Fallout New Vegas and your choices actually matters. You can help Dr. Cayley by destroying the data and the spores and preventing Last of Us 2 and Abby from ever happening. Or you could just keep the data for yourself or give it to NCR, potentially making you the hero who saved the world from starvation, or the jerk who released this super mutated Last of Us ass virus to the world. Your choices actually have consequences. Next, we got visuals. Wow! Fallout New Vegas vaults are like those creepy abandoned mansions that you cannot help to explore. They're creepy, they're atmospheric, and they're filled with little details and stories of what happened in the vault. The flickering lights, the blood stains. It actually looks like it's been in ruins for many years. In Fallout 4, the vaults look clean? I mean, sure, they're deteriorating, but where's the grit? Where's the rust, huh? Vault 114 is an exception with his 1950s gangster vibe, but it's mostly filled with just random corridors with bunch of skeletons tossed in there for good measures. It's like a difference between a homemade horror film filmed in a creepy old mansion and a high-budget thriller film filmed in a generic office. One's got soul and the other got fluorescent lighting. Vault isn't just a place. It's an experience that leaves you with the feeling of the what ifs and what happened there and the intrigue. But visuals aside, so what about gameplay? As rusty and outdated this game's gunplay is, I really love the progression they went with. I played Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 both on normal mode. While Fallout 4 was like, here's a fucking minigun, here's a power armor, go kill a Deathclaw. Fallout New Vegas was like, nah fam, we gotta do more of a survival horror type shit. Seriously, the Deathclaw from New Vegas is genuinely terrifying. When I see one running at me, I would generally shit myself. And the way the game lets you know that is very cool, since one of your first few missions is to go from the town of Goodspring to the Strip. And this is the closest route from Goodspring to New Vegas. But when you go to that location, you're told that this place is infested with many Deathclaws.
Hold up. There are Deathclaws all over the damn place north of here. I'd turn back if I were you.
You could still go there, but since there's no run button in Fallout New Vegas, you would get instantly molested in that region.
Yeah, I think if I go up there, the AI is gonna freak out. It's right there. Fuck. Oh shit, I think I just killed this baby. Fuck, that's not good. I think I just pissed her off. Shit. Fuck, go back up. Why am I so fucking slow? Go faster, man! Okay, I think I'm good.
Or what if you say, I want to go from this other route from here? I mean, that's a shortcut, looks pretty good. I could go around it. But no, there's this enemy type called Cazadors. They're pretty much wasps. And since in every Fallout game, flying enemies are pretty much piss easy, Obsidian was like, nah, we're gonna make them like Deathclaws, but give them wings. So if you even go from here, you're molested as well. So your only option to go to New Vegas is to go from here, to go all the way from up there, and to go all the way around. This design choice is really amazing since it pushes people to go through the long route, Hence, you will come across many side missions, many story, and you will get distracted, and then you realize that you spent 10 hours and you haven't still reached the strip. And this is all possible thanks to the game's difficulty. Since if the Death Claws and Cazadors weren't that hard, or you had a power armor since the beginning of the game, you could just power through this region and miss all these cool side quests on the right. Also, on top of all that, we got durability. So every item that you own now has durability, like Fallout 76, but it's much more intense because you gotta always keep an eye on your weapon, and usually in New Vegas weapons aren't that common, so when you have a weapon and it just breaks, you're shit out of luck. And the steam pack in Fallout New Vegas is so rare that in my whole playthrough I barely had around, I don't know, 40 of them maybe. And it makes you rely on your other food sources and healing items, forcing you to drink this 200-year-old sunset sarsaparilla. While in Fallout 4 the steam pack is so common, I barely used any healing item. The cooking station, I never used it in Fallout. You never used it in Fallout unless you're playing on survival, but I played both games on medium. And it made like other elements of the game useless. The cooking station useless, other healing items useless, because you have like so many steam packs. In Fallout 4, armor basically means jack potato shit, because in that game steam pack is so common, you're constantly healing, so you're never in the need of good armor. I mean, it makes a small bit of difference, but not that much. But in New Vegas, armor is a core part of the game mechanic, since to survive the late game enemies you need a good armor. You're gonna get absolutely decimated because steam pack and healing items aren't that common in that game. The progression in Fallout New Vegas is quite slow when I first played it, but it made it much more satisfying going from a goddamn pea shooter to the gas rifle absolutely decimating everything in its radius. Okay, I'm gonna talk about companion system in the gameplay section, since in New Vegas companions aren't as good as Fallout 4's companions, and most of the time they're silently standing right there looking into your soul with like barely any dialogues. But in New Vegas there's something cool that you could take dog meat and another companion at the same time. And that's so fucking cool. Like when I walked down the Mojave Desert with my dog meat and my companion, it made me feel like that mission from Red Dead 2 when you slowly walk towards that mansion and John is like, "Give me back my son!" And then Dutch is like, "We need more money, Tahiti." It's genuinely cool when you have two companions. And also, it's in the gameplay section, since the companions in New Vegas are so OP that you could go to the late game area and let them kill everything for you, because they do so much damage for some reason, especially after you upgrade your dog. Holy shit, bro, literally one-shots everything. I don't know why they don't let you take dog meat and another companion at the same time in Fallout 4. Why did they remove it? It was such a cool thing. But now, with all these out of the way, now let's talk why Fallout New Vegas is so good and why I love Obsidian so much. In the intro of New Vegas, after leaving the clinic and entering the town of Goodspring, you remember the little thing that I told you about that the player choice matters? Yeah, this place puts it into full display, a taste of things to come. After entering the bar, you see the bartender arguing with the Raider gang member. You're given a choice to side with the townsfolk to kill the gang member, or you're given the choice to side with the Raiders and take over the town. But wait! There is more choice! What? You can convince the people of the town with your different skills to side with the gangs if they don't want to die. Like having a high barter skill can convince the cleric to give you more equipment and side with you. Or if it fancies you, you could become the hero and kill all the gang members, freeing the town. But that will result this gang member to hate you for the rest of the game, eliminating every interaction you have with them, every mission. This is just the beginning of the game, just giving you these moral dilemmas of what am I gonna do? Should I be a good guy and help the town, or should I become an asshole and just take over the town and give it to a bunch of raiders? Now, let's compare this intro section to Fallout 4's intro. Well, the first town you enter in Fallout 4, you see the Minutemen, the good guys. Then you see the Raiders, the bad guys. Everything in Fallout 4 is pretty much black and white when it comes to good and evil. But can you talk to the Raiders, maybe killing the Minuteman, or talking between them to convince them to stop fight? No. No, you can't. Raiders will shoot you on sight the moment you enter the town. You have no choice but to help Minuteman. And it's impossible not to side with Minuteman, because every dialogue option leads to yes. No matter what you say, at the end of the day, you're gonna get the mission. The outcome is always the same.
Stop kidding yourself. You're nothing to me.
You know, you talk like a jerk, but you still helped us out, whether you wanted to or not.
And saying no will cause the mission to be pretty much put on pause until you come back and say yes. I can understand the appeal of Fallout for the new players, because Bethesda is always good at to give you this illusion of player choice, but that illusion will shatter quicker than Bethesda's reputation after Fallout 76, since when you start a second playthrough and you want to do an evil playthrough or something, you realize, damn, none of my choices that I did barely mattered. Don't get me wrong, there are many side quests in Fallout 4 that your choices actually matter. Like that one mission that you could side with a bunch of robots and help them to recreate this historical event in 2001 by aiming a flying ship towards that is hot. Yeah, my lawyer strongly advised me to not finish this joke. But most of these side quests have barely any effect on the main overarching story, and they're very self-contained. And that's a shame, because Bethesda always takes 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards. I love these random encounters that my choices actually matter. Like that one side mission that you encounter this ghoul stuck in a fridge. It's a little ghoul kid, and instantly you're giving a choice to help this kid or literally sell it straight to slavery.
Here's $350. I'm taking the kid.
Sold. Kid, I found you a new home.
Come on, kid. I got some holes that need digging.
You sold me.
Now that's what Fallout is about. Or even in Fallout 76, where I was walking around and I just came across these 2 sentient robots that they were trying to talk to each other and communicate to the robots. That was so cool, man. More of that, please. That was amazing. And these are the moments that Bethesda shines. I don't know why they don't do more of this in the main story. When it comes to every mission in Fallout New Vegas, player choice is always the priority. As an example, entering the Strip, the main big city of New Vegas, then the equivalent of that would be Diamond City in Fallout 4. Well, to enter the Strip, you need to pay the hefty amount of 2,000 V-Bucks. But you might say, oh no, Rohan, I do not have 2,000 FIFA coins. Well, if this game was a shitty game, this would have been a point that the game would have blocked you off and forced you to go to do a bunch of side missions, so you would have 2,000 caps to enter the Strip. By you know, New Vegas is not a shitty game. So if you have a high speech and barter, you could go to this shady ass shop and forge a fake passport to enter the Strip. Oh, you don't want to do that? It's fine. You could do a bunch of side missions for this gang before the Strip that is called the Kings, and when you do a bunch of side missions for them and you're respected, he could hook you up with a pass to enter. Oh, you don't want to do that? No, it's fine. You could dump 80 points into science and you would know the code to override the robot, and the robot would let you in.
Thank you, madam. You may proceed.
That's crazy, the amount of choices you got here. Now let's compare this to Fallout 4. Well, you just enter the city. There's no alternative. No matter what you choose, you're gonna go in the city anyway. You just go in. I mean, fuck it, why not? But New Vegas gives you so much choice that at some point you sit down and think that, damn, am I mentally stable for choosing that route? Am I physically okay? Am I mentally in the right place for doing this in a fictional world, given so much choice that I could release my deepest, most intrusive thoughts? One of my favorite confrontations in Fallout New Vegas is that when you finally catch up to the man who shot you in the head, if you're playing as a female character, you're giving the option to flirt with him, right? You could flirt with him.
Is it wrong to want a guy who'd shoot me in the head?
Did those bullets scramble your egg?
I'm a courier, remember? Don't you want me to handle your package?
Go to his bedroom, fuck him, then kill him. Because why the hell not? That option is there if you want to do it, because Obsidian is a bunch of psychopath people. And that's among the many options given to you how you want to approach this mission, in this one mission. I'm barely scraping the surface when it comes to player choice and how your choices affect the game, because if I wanted to go into detail about all these little tiny details, I would be here all day. Now, one of the main reasons Fallout is so appealing and is so intriguing is the many factions that were formed after the bomb fell and the way you interact with them.
Join Brotherhood of Steel. Strong, one virtuous women at a time.
When it came down to Obsidian, they were like, oh god, the only thing between me and identity theft right now is a Yonko ball right now. And in my opinion, Obsidian created the best written factions ever. Yeah, I said it. And here are some graphs to prove it. What the fuck even is that? Am I far left? Or am I far right? Bitch, I don't know. I'm in the middle of farting. I don't know. The main factions of Fallout New Vegas are divided to 4 factions and many other sub-factions. Many. Well, these factions are at war over controlling the Hoover Max Pressure Pro Model 16 dam. Yeah, that was a devious reference. Whoever gets this reference, here's a kiss for you. Control over the dam means control over the power supply. Hence, it means you will have control over the Mojave Desert. On one hand, we got Legion, made out of a bunch of Sigma male. I will tell you what the definition is. Andrew Tate loving, woman enslaving, human trafficking, and all those epic stuff. But cosplaying as Roman Empire, yeah! As said by the man himself, Caesar, Salad, or the cool people in Mojave that calls him Kaiser, the Legion is a nationalist, totalitarian, homogenous, Fortnite battle pass. I have no idea what the fuck I just said. And Legion's methods are brutal yet effective. The first time that you come across as Legion's brutality is when you come across the town Nipton that was previously occupied by a bunch of raiders, and now you could see their extent of brutality and what they've done into this town. Legion there did something really fucking horrifying that is called the lottery. Yeah! I win the lottery! I did! Man, shut up! Fucking Spider-Man ass voice actor. What is lottery? So basically, everybody else other than first place and second place get brutally crucified and burnt alive, and the second place gets his leg crushed so they can't leave the town forever, and the first place get to live. And there's this really cool detail when you go and talk to this guy which his leg has been crushed. If you do the VATS on his legs, you could see that his legs are like at low health, which it means they've been broken. And damn, I love these little details, man. I love these little details. Obsidian, I love you. Obsidian, I want to suck your ball. But on the other hand, we got NCR. NCR is a democratic fuck, I can't say that shit. Expansionist. Wow. NCR is an expansionist democratic government focusing on restoring the old world order and bringing back civilization to the lands of Mojave Wasteland. Seems like they're the good guys, right? I mean, all of the things that they're doing is noble. Then we have my boy right here. We got Mr. House.
What's up?
Yeah, I'll let him introduce himself.
Greetings, YouTube. I'm Robert House, the selfless mastermind behind New Vegas. I rebuilt this city from ruins, not for my benefit, of course, but purely out of the goodness of my heart. This towering casino, just a modest residence. These Securitrons, merely peacekeepers, definitely not my personal army. And those millions of caps, just a byproduct of my altruistic endeavors.
Are you done saying bullshit?
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
And then we have Yes Man, which is an AI, which lets you to have a more of an independent ending and letting you as the player deciding the fate of Mojave Desert. What makes these factions in New Vegas so unique and cool is that all of them are flawed in their own way. But still, they have their own reasons about why they're doing what they're doing. So you have this like mental dilemma in your head that who the fuck am I supposed to side with? It's not that simple. Like they're all fucking mentally sick. They're not okay. Now I'm gonna try to dip my little toes into this kiddie pool filled with bureaucracy, dead claws, death, slavery, and sometimes ghoul pussy. Because you really can't grasp how great this game's writing is, because after so many years that this game was released, people are still debating which faction was right all along. Because the factions aren't so black and white, because, you know, it's kind of difficult to know who's right, who's wrong. Taking NCR for example. I mean, the overall goal of NCR is to do good, to bring back peace and safety. The only faction that resembles the old world pre-war. To bring back civilization back to the world. But they still suffer from the same problems that the current modern government suffers from, such as bureaucracy, corruption in many departments, the units being so stretched thin that they have lack of power to control, and sometimes downright merciless. And then we have Kaiser, who in my opinion is one of the best charismatically written characters ever in Fallout, making you believe whatever bullshit he says. He could literally come up to me and say Bloodborne is mid, but the way he says it, I could believe him.
Bloodborne is an overrated mess of gloomy visuals and pointless difficulty spikes, where the biggest challenge is figuring out why anyone thinks it's fun. Bloodborne's combat feels repetitive, and honestly, the game could use an easy mode to make it enjoyable. 3 out of 10.
But by the way, that's not true. Bloodborne is peak, by the way. Shut the fuck up, Kaisar. Since when you talk to him, he has his own reasons why he's doing what he's doing. He believes that NCR's democratic government is inherently flawed and won't survive in this post-apocalyptic world.
The NCR has all the problems of the ancient Roman Republic. Extreme bureaucracy, corruption, extensive senatorial infighting.
He sees the NCR society as decadent and morally decayed. The luxuries and freedom of the democratic system have led to a loss of discipline and purpose among its citizens. And you see this thing in full display. Whenever you go to the strip, you see all these NCR soldiers drunk, lacking discipline. The female NCR soldiers getting so drunk to the point that they would get naked to get into the fountain and have some fun. This shows that there's a big lack of discipline for the soldier of this faction. Everything that Kaisar, I'm not gonna say Kaisar, I'm gonna say Caesar. Everything that Caesar says about NCR is inherently true. But Legion itself is a very flawed faction itself. Since the way Caesar knew about the Roman Empire is through some books that he read. The Legion's hypocrisy lies in its very selective and often exaggerated adaptation of the Roman practices, focusing on brutality and authoritarian control while ignoring the more sophisticated, integrative and administrative strains of the Roman Empire. It turns out conquering and destroying every single identity of every faction you come across and enslaving their woman is not such a good idea, since you could make a lot of enemies.
The braids I wore, they took that from me. Thought it made them more like me, more willing to have Kaisar listen. They didn't know what the braids meant, the mark of my tribe before Kaisar came. All the while, they were looking to cast our history on the fire, and did. Another tribe consumed by the bull.
I mean, they literally used a radiation bomb on a town that was occupied by NCR soldier, turning them all instantly into a ghoul. That the bomb was so bad the whole region is goddamn green. I mean, if that's not a definition of terrorist, I don't know what is. Then we have Mester House that have kept Strip alive for 200 years. And then according to him, he has prevented around 68 nukes out of 77 from hitting Las Vegas. On the surface, it looks like he cares really about humanity. But when you look deeper into it, it's really not that true. He's mostly a selfish prick putting his gain over everything else. I mean, yeah, he managed to keep Vegas a business for 200 years with his robots, but somehow he didn't even manage to keep the surrounding city of the Strip safe. You can't walk 5 steps in Freeside without getting shanked 100 times. It's pretty much Brighton, but Fallout.
Runneth thy pockets, my fine fellow.
I think not, you scallywag.
Also, this faction is pretty flawed, since the only person in power and the head of these robots are Mester House himself. And if anything happens to Mester House, this faction is as good as dead. And Mester House himself, turns out he's hiding in his piss bucket under the tower all these years, and it's really not that hard for the other factions to dispatch him. I mean, you literally do it for the other factions if you chose to side with the others, and it's really easy to kill him. Oh, by the way, did I mention what you wear in this game also matters? The only reason that I sided with NCR through my playthrough was to wear this cool ass ranger outfit for the rest of the game. God, I fucking love this outfit. It's like the coolest outfit in whole Fallout. That's why in Fallout 76 they're charging you for the Fallout Plus, Fallout Premium, I don't know. So you could have this outfit. That's I think one of the reasons only people would buy the Fallout Plus Premium Pass, Fortnite Battle Pass in Fallout 76. So yeah, if you dress as a certain faction, you get this prompt on the top left of your screen that, yeah, be careful, you're dressed as, for example, the NCR faction, or you're dressed as the Legion faction. So be careful, since if these factions are not so much of in good terms, they will shoot you on sight. Talking about good terms, there's this whole relationship status that shows your relationship with every occupied town and location in the map, ranging from vilified to idolized. And if you're vilified, they will go out of the way to send hit squads to get rid of you, because that's how much they hate you. There's not only like idolized or vilified, there's so many like statuses in between, and it's so fucking cool. For example, you could start helping them and then start to killing them and then start to helping them, leaving that faction confused which you're either evil or you're good. And that's an option. It's in between. It's so cool that they accounted for that. Because, you know, players are psychopaths, they might do that. Oh boy, did I even mention the sub-factions? Like boomers, a bunch of trigger-happy explosive people that will literally explode you on sight. And then we have the kings that see Elvis Presley as this some sort of god, and they all talk and dress like him. And it's so fun and so cool. And then we got cons, a bunch of nomad drug producers that they live in the, they pretty much, they're Breaking Bad. There's even Breaking Bad, man. I fucking love them. Just because they resemble Breaking Bad. God, I love Breaking Bad. Have you watched Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad is pretty good. And then we have Brotherhood of Steel in this game, but this time, out of all the Fallout games, in this game they have the smallest amount of presence because there's so many other factions that take their place. But they're still there. We got White Glove Society and so much more. And your relationship with all of them matters. That's the crazy part. Depending on your interaction with the sub-factions, it could either smooth the way with the big boys, with the big factions, or pretty much shit on their plans. Whether you want to play a hero, or a villain, or a psychopath, your choices will sure leave a mark on the overarching main story, unlike Fallout 4. And even at the end, every single little choices that you made, even in the side missions, are narrated to you. So you sit down and you're like, wow, what I did in the Mojave affected the ending. Like, there's so much different like combination of ending that is insane how much there is. While New Vegas' story is about a heavily politically charged, well-written story, Fallout 4 is about Minecraft. Guys, look how pretty my base is. Goddamn, look at my base. Wow, look at that, man. I spent 17 dog years to make that shit. Why the fuck I can't place anything in this base building without downloading 700 mods, man? To see how the story of Fallout 4 is not that good compared to Fallout New Vegas, I have no choice but to give you a brief summary of Fallout 4's whole story. So here we go. You're a happily married man. You accidentally create a certain Austrian painter instead of Omni-Man. Oh no! Boom booms are coming. What am I gonna do? You go to the vault. Holy shit, I'm in the vault. Then boom, you're frozen. 200 years passes. You wake up. Some shady people take your children and shoot your wife. Bam! Oh no, my wife is dead. Then you're frozen again. Wow. Then wake up again. Now you gotta go find your son. Holy shit, where is my son? Then you go after this guy named Kellogg, the guy who killed your your wife, and then you took your son, and because he has a chip in his head that shows his memory so you can understand what the fuck happened to your child. And then turns out your son is actually old as fuck, and that quick nap you took was around 60 years. Holy shit, that's some M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. Oh my god. And then you might say, why Kellogg? This guy who shot me hasn't aged a bit? Yeah, because he has some sort of technology in his brain that stops him from aging. Then you find out your son is a leader of this society of mad scientists named Institute. What? This underground, secretive, Apple Store-ass looking place is dedicated to make bunch of robots that are indistinguishable to bunch of humans called synths. Ooh. And the reason they took your son is to use his pre-war clean baby DNA to create these synths. And what's their goal? Well, basically to replace every single human in Commonwealth and replace them with bunch of synths lookalikes of themselves. So you're killing every person, killing every human, and replace them with robots. So they can be gods. Wow. How can that go wrong? When you talk to them, they say their goal is to, better the human life. But all these years, they've been keeping this life-changing technology to themselves. And the only thing that they've been releasing to the Commonwealth, the world on the top, is being super mutants, because they've been experimenting with super mutants. Even though the lore is different from Fallout 1 and 2, but the super mutants in Fallout 4 are made by Institute. It's pretty confusing. But look, they made robot gorillas. Yay! Your son is apparently dying from old age and cancer, even though they had technology to stop Kellogg from aging, a random fucking mercenary. Yeah, he's valued, but they didn't use this technology on the fucking leader of the place, the person who's leading this whole scientist. What? Or they could have replaced him with a synth lookalike, because synths are almost humans with free will, and they don't even know themselves that they're synths. And they already did it with the leader, but they made a baby version of him for some reason, and not an actual adult version to transfer his memory to the adult version so he could live forever. It doesn't make fucking sense. When you talk to your son after a while, he says your wife's death was an accident and collateral damage. Motherfucker. What?
It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
And freeing you to the wasteland was an experiment to see if a person pre-war could survive in this harsh environment.
When I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts.
Motherfucker, I nearly got raped by a death claw in the beginning of the game, and I've been barely surviving. What the hell? Institute thinks that synths are nothing but tools, right? And they should be used as slaves. But multiple times we've seen that synths are like almost humans. They have free will, they don't even know that they're robots themselves. And Institute is just evil for no fucking reason. They're evil because they're evil. But there are other factions, 3 to be more specific. Gone the days of sub-factions and these little like quirky sub-factions that have effect on the main story and the other bigger factions. And side missions have barely zero influence on the main mission, so. Then we have Brotherhood of Steel. And Brotherhood of Steel is a military-based group hell-bent on collecting pre-war technology, preventing humans from destroying the world again because they think that, you know, if the technology is in the wrong hands, they could destroy the world. And they hate the Institute because the Institute want to play God. So, siding with Brotherhood will cause Institute to explode. Then we have Railroad, an underground secretive groups dedicated to freeing synths because they believe that these robots are so close to humans and they should be free and it's not morally right to keep them as slaves. So, siding with them will cause Institute to explode. And also Brotherhood of Steel this time. And then we have Minuteman. Another settlement needs your help. 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 And siding with them will cause you to get brain cancer, and also Institute will explode. Fallout 4's main story is very linear. Even though Todd Howard is so good with his sexy jacket and charisma to give you this false sense of freedom and player choice, but in reality doing missions in these factions doesn't affect other factions at all, until a specific point that if you do that one mission, every other faction suddenly becomes your enemy. It's not like New Vegas that you have to keep an eye on your decisions and your choices because, you know, depending on what choices you make, it affects your relationship, slowly changing them from, you know, adored to vilified. Also in Fallout 4's story, there are so many inconsistencies, such as Nick Valentine, for example, a synth detective with a voice so goddamn sexy that when he talks, every woman in 5-meter vicinity of him would instantly be wet.
Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place.
And then we have Brotherhood of Steel that is pretty much racist towards synths and they would kill every synth on sight. But if you take Nick Valentine to their base, a synth that looks obviously like a synth, they're like, nah man, it's all good homie, we don't give a shit. It's alright, I mean it's alright. Then we have Railroad that you could literally pull up, say, I hate synths, I don't give a shit about them, and they would literally roll a red carpet in front of you and they welcome you right in. And Railroad is a super secretive underground organization. I'm talking Metal Gear under the box, Solid Snake under the box type of organization because they're really in few numbers. So if Institute finds them, they're as good as dead. So they should be really cautious, right? But no, you literally follow a red line that leads to their base, and on that red line, the password is written on the red line. And guess what's the password? It's Railroad, the name of the organization that people know about. It's the same as putting your password as 123. And then when you go inside, the leader literally just tells you, you're clearly not Institute. How do you know? Since Institute is so powerful, they could have sent an undercover agent. Doesn't make any sense. Why would you let me in? Why would you even not shoot me on sight? Or Institute, you could fuck up every mission that they give it to you, not following their orders, and at the end, they would make you the leader of the Institute regardless. Institute being a society of mad genius scientists, and you being an outsider wastelander merc. How can you be a leader of a mad scientist? It just doesn't fucking make sense, man. I'm losing my mind. And I haven't really mentioned Brotherhood of Steel that much because other than they hate Institute, there's not much going on with them as well. But at least we get to see Liberty Prime again. The concept is there. It's so cool. The faction seems so interesting. Like the faction Railroad that is inspired by a real world group called Railroad that were helping black people escape instead of sins. It's so cool. It's political. The concept is there, but an execution, not really. I know I've been bashing Fallout 4, but I love Fallout 4. Like how a mother loves his imperfect child. I mean, Fallout New Vegas isn't perfect either. It's a miracle that they made this game in a span of 18 months on that janky ass Fallout 3 engine. But still, you're lucky if the game doesn't crash 5 times in a row.
And there's our crash.
The AI is goddamn janky. There's no sprint button in the vanilla version, so you're stuck with this fucking snail's pace jogging speed. The guns feel goddamn clunky. Holy shit, that's horrible. And most of the time, the map feels quite empty compared to Bethesda games with having this like, oh look, destroyed building number 5, and there's nothing really interesting about this building in general, just empty in there for no reason. I would be crazy not to mention the great things Fallout 4 did. In some of the side missions, you have so much player choice that it almost feels like New Vegas. And the entirety of Far Harbor, I don't know what happened at Bethesda, maybe some people just broke into their studio and decided to actually make a good RPG, but holy shit, Far Harbor, 10 out of 10. And oh my god, the power armor! In Fallout 4 they changed it, because in the older game they were just like an equipable normal armor, but in this game it's a fucking mech suit, man. Like when you get inside that shit, it feels great. It's so cool. And it's one of the sole reasons that Fallout show is as cool as it is. I mean, the power armor in the show is like so cool. Everybody were gushing about the power armor. And the settlement system was an amazing concept. Since when I started building these settlements, it genuinely felt like I was rebuilding the wasteland. It felt like I was actually playing a role-playing game, which I was rebuilding wasteland. I was doing something that changes my environment, and my choices mattered. And also it made me into a psychopath, picking every single little junk in the world. Just, oh, there's a fucking scissor. Oh, there's a fan. Because I need the resources in these junks to build my beautifully layered toilet. Look at that, man. I also put a fucking soap there.
Do people shower every day?
And this gave actual meaning to the junk in the game. In New Vegas, I barely picked up any junk. And it genuinely impresses me what people have created in Fallout 4, like massive cities and great stuff. And they even improved upon this in Fallout 76, giving you mod choice. But you know, if you need cool stuff to build, you gotta, you know, cough up some money to buy these beautifully colored walls, because you know it's a live surface and everything costs like one leg and kidney. And as I said, Bethesda's visuals are always great and the art style is sick. Like for example, the first time that Predwin rolled up into the hood, I genuinely shat myself. It was a beautiful moment. The enemy design is amazing with so much variation. The animations are good when it works, such as feral ghouls in this game, and the way they just kind of... And the voice acting in this game sometimes are goddamn amazing. I mean, when it's good. Like this sexy, sassy ass robot named Pam. God, I love her.
What are you? I'm a woman, baby. Can't you tell?
And finally, in Fallout 4, after so many years, they made guns actually feel like guns. And on top of that, giving a massive selection of attachments so you could customize the gun and make them the way that you wanted to play with. You want to put 4 barrels on a goddamn RPG with a bayonetta on top of that? You can't do that. And they heavily expanded on the partner system. So now your partners have a lot more to say. And they would react much more depending on the choices you make. So if you want to make Piper live up to her name, you gotta do some lockpicking. That shit turns her on. At the end of the day, Fallout 4 is a great looter shooter and a mediocre RPG. While Fallout New Vegas being far from perfect, I think, in my opinion, is one of the best RPGs I've played in a long time. You know, there's always something charming about Bethesda games. I don't know what it is, but that charm is quickly fading off, especially after the release of Starfield. But I really hope so, that Bethesda kicks it out of the park with the new Elder Scrolls. And in the back of my heart, I know this is never gonna happen, but I wish one day Bethesda and Obsidian make a Fallout game together. The best of the both worlds. The great writing of Obsidian, the great world building of Bethesda, all coming together to make this amalgamation of beauty. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. For the past few weeks, I've been a fucking goblin in my room. Any social interaction, I'm losing my mind. There's probably like voices in my head getting louder. I hope you enjoyed watching me ramble about these two old-ass games. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. I don't know when. Probably somewhere in the future. Yeah, bye.